Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country. Welcome to my weekly Story and Sketch Live, where I create an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page that can go into an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook album, or I have also shown how you can incorporate your 8.5 by 11 pages into your 12 by 12 scrapbook albums, whether you put your page onto a 12 by 12 sheet and decorate it up a little bit more, or you have 8.5 by 11 page protectors and can insert those into your 12 by 12 albums to extend the story that you're creating. So this would be a great one to do that with because of the theme, which is beach vacation ideas, things like that. Good morning, Debbie. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're doing well today. Hello, Charisse. Good morning to you too. I need to do a little bit of maneuvering of the camera, I think. Let me see. And I need to zoom in a tiny bit more, I think, so I can get a little bit closer, see what's going on, make sure I'm straight. All right. So today we're going to be doing stamping. We're going to focus on stamping primarily. I do have some pieces cut from the die set from the Ocean Friends, and I have stamped a few things already, but I'm going to show you about the two-step stamping. So we have images that like an outline image to that one, and then so that's the crab and then the lobster as well. But we'll just be playing with the crab today because of the paper that I selected for this particular memory. And then let me open this up. We've got some great dies. I love this coral right here and how it cuts out and puts the little pinholes in there for you. It's really fun and detailed. So I love that. I've done that in all the different colors that I've been using this week. And so we'll be using this die, and this die. On Monday, I showed how to cut out the designer series paper. So there's a sheet in this collection, the Friends of the Ocean, that has all these crabs and lobsters in different colors. And these will cut these out perfectly. So you don't even have to do any coloring or stamping necessarily. But these also will cut out these stamped images as well. And we have some reeds or coral. Like every time I see these, I think of eel. So I guess you could put a little eye on there, kind of like it has this hole here, and turn it into a little eel if you wanted to. I'm wondering out of the box what other kind of things we could do with that. I'm not sure. Um, then there are little starfish here, and I love that they put it into a little cluster of three. It's a little bit easier to handle, so it'll cut out three at a time of the starfish. And then we will be using this one today to incorporate kind of a looking like a wave going through, I guess. You could do waves or sand, I suppose. And I think that's it. We won't probably be doing any of the sentiments. I used Love You on Monday's project. Don't know that I'll do Hello Friend or Thanks So Much. We'll use those on Friday for our Feel Good Friday Fun Fold cards, which I already have one of them made up, but you'll have to come back Friday to check it out. I am going to do a little bit of stamping with these images right here as well, and probably the little bubbles because they're so cute. All right, and let me find my catalog because there is a great feature in here. In the mini catalog, January through April, this is where you will find this collection of products, the Friends of the Ocean. I think that's it right there. So you can see all the wonderful designer series paper. There's the stamp set I just and dies that I just highlighted right here. And then of course these fabulous sunny day iridescent dots. I have seen already where some are taking the Stampin' Blend markers and changing the colors of these. So that's kind of cool. You could turn these into more of a green shade if you wanted, depending on what you use. And oh, I forgot about that. We're going to have to figure out how to incorporate that because I've got to use this Soft Waves 3D embossing folder because I didn't use it yet on Monday. So they've done it in white here, they've done it in the background. I'm kind of having an idea, so I'm going to keep that close at hand so I end up using that. So that's the suite. Look at all the darling cute cards here. There's some of those. I think these were the ones that were cut out of the paper here, right? And it even shows you right there. Then these right here are embossed in gold. I don't know if you can see that very well, but and then colored in, or maybe they're stamped, I bet. And then you could emboss the outline in gold. And then I love this card, this Hello Friend up here at the top with all the little creatures. Those were fussy cut out of the paper that I'm using today. So lots of fun different things you can do with this, and it is a unique color combination. Good morning, Teresa. Hope you're doing well. Teresa from Tennessee, Cerise, sorry, from Idaho, and then Debbie's from Texas. She lives just a couple of miles away from me. So what I wanted to share with you was this right here. There is a PDF, I believe. I'll see if I can find it that has what are called color buddies. So color buddies are shades of the same hue. In these samples, we paired a color that's in the paper with a color buddy for a flawless color combination. Try a two-step stamp set like Ocean Friends to build layered images that are color buddy ready. So the colors that are in the collection are Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Melon Mambo, and Summer Splash. And then you can pair those with some lighter coordinating shades, which would be Pool Party, Bubble Bath, Peach Pie, and Petal Pink. So I actually changed mine up on this one a little bit and did the Berry Burst with the Bubble Bath. I liked that color combination better. And so that's what I'll be doing. That's what I've done today. So that's just a neat, we have a whole selection of color buddies. If you want more information on that, I can see about locating that and sharing it. Ooh, shh, be quiet. No. She's watching at work. All right, so let's get busy. I have a lot of everything pre-cut. I've got photos and a story to share. And yeah, I've got my title figured out. So let's move some things around. I am going to only use, I think, the Calypso Coral with Petal Pink and then that Berry Burst and Bubble Bath. And so these two for now, or these four, I'm going to set aside over there. So the color buddy showed these two colors, Melon Mambo and Bubble Bath, but my eye really liked that better. That looks more of a like the coordinating shades to me. So that's why I picked that one this time. And I didn't really use Melon Mambo in my pages either. So I grabbed some ribbon because I would like to see if I can incorporate this into here. This is the Summer Splash ribbon. All our 2024-26 in colors came with ribbon. So I've got lots of that ribbon I need to play with and use. So let's see what I've got here. I've got a the Shy Shamrock color, the base, and I'm not going to gut it out because I'm layering stuff, different pieces all over. And then I've got these pieces. I'm going to show you how to do that two-tone stamping. If you've never done that before, probably most of y'all that are on right now have. But if you're not, let me know if you've never done that. Um, I'm going to show you how to do that. And then this piece is for that. I need to cut and figure out how I'm going to use this right here. And then I want to be sure I'm going to have to find some paper and decide what I want to do with that embossing folder. So I cut a couple of the coral using the lemon lime twist. I really like it in this color. On Monday, I used a combination of colors, so go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. And then I did the berry burst for the reeds and let me pull this out and I'll share my story here in a minute. And then Calypso Coral is what I did the starfish with. And I cut those out twice, so I'd get a total of 6, and I'll have 3 on each of the reeds. So there are those crabs. This one I didn't get cut out very well, but I am going to show you how you can stamp them and get them lined up well. And we might do it in that color, and then I can cut it out again, possibly. That's probably what I'm going to do. And my title pieces, which I'll explain what my title is in a minute. I cut part of the title out using the alphabet a la mode, which you can get for free right now. I don't even know if I have all the letters on here. No, I don't even know where. Oh, there's the other sheet. But this has been combining these two dies, the mini alphabet along with the alphabet a la mode. Some of my letters are still laying over there. Has been lots of fun this last week or two since they announced that these would be free with the $60 purchase during our celebration promotion. So don't miss out on that because that is a good deal right there to get those for free. Then, okay, I've got all that. I'm just moving things out of the way and getting all the kitty dust, I guess, off my pages. So I've got my journaling done. I'm going to cut these into strips, I'm pretty sure. So about 1/4 inch strips. I'll show you how to do that. And I made this collage of photos way back in 2015. This was shortly after Jeff and I met, about a month and a half. So it was right before Thanksgiving break. We met on October 7th online and then met in person. I think October 16th was our first date. And in our calendars, Jeff has put October 16th as something like the best last date ever. Because, like, instantly, like, we knew it felt that way, anyways. Like, we were meant to be, we were together officially. And so we went to Corpus Christi to visit his grandma. She was not doing well. And I got to meet his aunt, Sherry, so his mom's sister. And we visited with them for a little bit. And then we went over to Mustang Island and spent the afternoon and evening. And it was cold. It was in November. And it was super windy, as you can tell. My hair is blown away back here. Um, this is the first time that we wrote PB&J in the sand. I shared that story on Monday, and I'll share those pictures real quick with you. So this past July 2024, we went to Vero Beach and drove up and down the coast from Vero Beach to West Palm Beach, and we put our initials again in the sand. Just happens to Jeff figured out that it spelled out PB&J. So Pamela, Blackwell, and Jeff. So that's a fun little story that we have, and that's our little nickname. So that was the first time we did that. And well, I have a totally another story, but I'm not going to go there because it's not a fun story about that. But I got in trouble for doing that actually by my ex. So long story short. So anyhow, we had so much fun. You can see the big smile on my face, all both our faces. And you can barely see it here, but Jeff drove out on the beach and did donuts in the car. And so that's us afterwards laughing and just giggling, probably almost peed my pants. Who knows? So I did this collage in like PhotoGrid. PhotoGrid is an app that I've used for a super long time, and that's where I can go in and do collages and um, put my photos in like this. And I did a 6x8 album back in 2021. I was working on one, and I did a lot of these to be able to fit more pictures onto a page. So I pulled that and just printed it. I've probably already scrapbooked this at some point. I don't know, but I'm doing it again. I'm doing it for my 8.5 by 11 scrapbook album. So I've got all my journaling in there, talking about Mustang Island, Corpus Christi, about writing PB&J in the sand, the donuts on the beach, and I was focusing this week since it's Valentine's week just on our relationship and our love of the beach, which I hadn't really been fond of the beach up until I met Jeff. And we've gone to this time Corpus Christi, we've been to Galveston twice with the kids, and then of course we went to Florida back in July. So I've really gotten to where I really enjoy the beach. So let's get busy. Let's get everything prepped that we need prepped first, which would be my journaling, our stamping, and some die cutting. Hello, Deborah. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Christine. How are you doing? Christine's a fellow artisan. See, I love hearing the story of the nickname. Thank you so much. Just something fun. All right, so I've printed my journaling on a 4x6 piece. I've created a text box, a 4x6 text box in my, or document in my Pages, so my Word document. I use Pages because I have a Mac, and I can just open that up. I can find it in my recent documents because I use it quite often and pull it up and delete what I've previously put in there for journaling and then start anew. And I use the American alphabet, American typewriter. It's called American typewriter. It's a Mac Pages font, I think, but you might can find it in like a PC Word document. I'm not sure, but it just looks like typewriter, and that's my go-to. I just like it and make it simple. I don't like anymore to overthink, all the this font or that font. Does this one look appropriate or not? Maybe on occasion I'll do that, but so how I print it or how I cut it out so I get get it centered pretty good. It's not perfect, but the inside here, there's maybe a 16th of an inch right in here, maybe an eighth, probably more like an eighth of an inch. And I just move the cardstock up until, like, if I can see it in there, I know I'm going to cut through it. So I pull it down until I can't see it. And then, like, that just took a little sliver off. And then I'll move it over to the other side and just make sure that any, like the G and the Y, P, whatever, those letters that go down further, that I can't see those in the cutting area. And then that's how I end up getting a nice cut right there. And I don't even know if I need to, maybe just a little bit. See, I'm just cutting off a little sliver, and then I'll move it over close to the 1/4 inch, but I end up pushing it back just a smidge usually. And this is just a fun way I like to do my journaling. So, does anybody have any questions about that? Let me see. Pretty good. Just making sure that it's straight over down here. And one last one. And I wanted to do the strips today because I don't think I'm going to actually get anything cut off there. Let me see. You want to make sure you have a nice sharp blade in your trimmer as well. Anyhow, I like to do my journaling like this in certain instances. Sometimes it's just because I like the look. Other times it's a little bit more purposeful, kind of like what I'm doing today. All right, I've got such a mess going on over here. I'm not even sure where my scissors are. Give me 1 second, see if I can locate them. There they are. They're over on the way over here. And then I'll go through and just snip off the ends. So it looks good like that. All right, so we'll do that to all of these real quick. So how's everybody been? Hello, Debbie. So tell me where Gulf Breeze is compared to Vero Beach. That's what I scrapbooked, or that's where we went last July, was Vero Beach. And I was thinking about you yesterday when you commented, and then I was like, she's in Florida. Yay. So I don't know if Debbie had seen me do this before or not. I've done it a couple of times on a few lives, but this is a good opportunity to really show again how you can do that. And I do write my journaling sometimes. Some days I like my writing, some days I don't. So it just kind of depends. But I do encourage you on occasion, if you're not crazy about your handwriting, write something because future generations will really appreciate that when they go looking through your scrapbook pages and find your handwriting. Because from personal experience, my uncle passed away, then my grandma passed away, and then my dad passed away. And that is something I feel connected to them when I came across their handwriting. It's to me, it's just real personable to have those mementos of handwriting. So, yeah, don't always use the printer, but that is, if you don't like your handwriting, that is a great way to do your journaling. And I also like it because I can get a lot more journaling done and in a smaller amount of space. All right, so there's my journaling. I'll set this aside over here. Then let's do our die cutting and our stamping. Yep, I have a little piece. So I'm going to redo this one because I didn't cut it out very well. Let me kind of move this out of the way for a moment. And I'm going to bring in like kind of this piercing mat, I guess that's what it is. I need to make sure it's clean. So I just have a little square of, let me get all my pieces, a little square of white willow, or it might be basic white. I'm not even sure. It was just out of my scraps. All right, so I've got on here the solid one. I'm going to take it off because it works better if you use the outline image first. Kind of hard to line up if you don't. So we'll be using the Petal Pink with Calypso Coral to redo this one. So the outline is going to be done with the darker color, which is Calypso Coral. Just put it right there in the center. And go ahead and get my chamois. Uh-oh, I was hitting the keyboard. All right, so thank you for those of you that have commented. I really appreciate that. It helps the algorithm, helps YouTube and Facebook know that y'all are enjoying the video and we'll show it to more people. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close up my Calypso Coral, and now I can do the Petal Pink and new stamps. I've used them a little bit already, but I still like to kind of go on the palm of my hand just to get some of the film off, and it should be clean because I cleaned it before I used it. All right, so ink that up. And then you're just on this one, you're going to line up the claws. I may have to get over here a little bit so I can see it better. We're going to line up, there's this little area right here. That's where I found if I lined those up, I do have to get up over the table a little bit. And you're also going to look at the legs and stuff a little bit. You just kind of want to scan around the whole thing, and that was pretty good. So, so there, lined up really well. Just take your time, especially on these, to try to kind of line them up. Now, I stamped that one real good. I just didn't cut it out very good. And that just happens sometimes. I was probably rushing because I was trying to get things prepped. So now we need that and let's put some things away or make a mess. Move things over to bring in my cut and emboss machine. I've already got it open. I just had it on the floor. And I'm going to I have a little bit of Post-it tape here, and I'm going to line this up. So I did notice that it's, yeah, a little tricky. I'm trying to make sure I can see the outline of the Calypso Coral, and you can just barely see them on the legs. Okay, so I think that's good. We'll run that through, and then we'll work on this little wave. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a wave or not, or actually bring in a different color. I may bring in just a color to make it look more like sand. All right, so that was much better, much better. All right, so we got that in our stash. Let's put our crab away and let me look. I was thinking crumb cake would probably be the best choice. Because look, it's a pretty good sand color. All right, but I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit. I want it to be, I think I'm going to do about a 1-inch strip right here. That should be lengthwise, that should be pretty good. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. I think I only need about 7.5, but we'll just do the whole length of this. So it'll probably, I don't want like a big, I don't think I want a big, a thick one. I think I want it just to be thin. So I'm going to do maybe about a 1/2 inch. And if I do it like this, I think then I can move it down here and do the other end. So let's try that because I haven't actually tried this yet. Got everything moving, sliding over here on me. All right, so yeah, so it cut it like that. It's still attached. So now I want to see if, so probably kind of line it, see if I can make it fit. Because it's not, you don't want to do it like that. You want to kind of line, I can't feel it. I'm trying to, there we go. I think that's good. Hopefully it'll be okay. Line up pretty good. We'll see. Too much on my table. Well, let's see here. Just trying to get that tape off. So we have two options. We can do this one right here. It kind of put a line in it, pressing it down. So maybe we'll end up using this one instead. And then I can cut off some. So that's good to know. Could always flip it over like this too, and you wouldn't see the line. So just something to be aware of. All right. So I think I'm going to like that and bring in a little bit of different color with that crumb cake. And then you could do this for water if you wanted to. All right, so let's bring everything in and we can piece it all together. It's going to go together pretty quick now. I think, anyways. I'll cut this down, I think, to 7.5, but we'll see once we get everything on here. All right. So since I chose to do the summer splash, I'm going to stamp a few of these bubbles, and I'm going to position them on here, kind of like, I guess that, I don't know that it really matters. I have to remember, I got to wipe off my Versamat a little bit, but I'm going to just go around and random stamp these bubbles. I'm rotating my stamp each time so they don't look so uniform. A lot of this is going to be covered up, but this, like right in here, I think is mostly going to show, but I'm not sure exactly what all will. So stamp off the edge some, and it looks a little bit more random. I kind of smudged that one. And then you'll also be able to see it along the edge here a little bit. Like most of this is going to be covered up. The strip's going to go over here. So maybe even do a little bit right there. So I like the tone on tone. That's a fun choice. All right. I am going to go up here a little bit. I can't remember how far my my matte goes. And then my journaling will go over this as well. All right, so there's just a little bit of added texture. Now here is the piece I want to put down right here. And I'm gonna do my edges. So I'm just gonna tap. So just take your ink pad and just tap the end of your paper and go all the way across here. And it's gonna pick up a little bit of that basic gray is what I have. And this is just gonna help this piece kind of pop off the page a little bit more. I did a little bit of that on Monday as well. Okay, so we need some adhesive. Let me also, real quick, clean my table off. Got like, for my random stamping that kind of went off the page. So I don't get a bunch of smudges. Oh, that's not what I want. All right, let's do this. And let's put my ink pad away. So Debbie says, Debbie Garrett, it is in North Florida in the Panhandle, close to Pensacola. And you're close to Tina? Is that right, Tina Sutton? It's known for our sugar white beaches. Well, then we just may have to come and visit that some point on our next trip. All right, so I'm just going to position this, get it centered. There we go. Those temporary glue dots just hold my paper on the Versamat so it doesn't shift and move around on me. I think I'm going to do I guess I'm going to do 1/2 inch so we can see some of those bubbles right there on the edge as well. Okay, so I picked a different pattern paper than I used on Monday. The other one had lobsters. This one has the crabs, shrimp, and seahorses and squid. Is that what that is? Oh, there's a blowfish. It's time to see what else. Starfish. Yeah, cool. All right, so and then now I have I think this was 7.5 by 7.5 piece of the Berry Burst. I have a white piece of um, White Daisy, and then I'm thinking I'm going to put this down here. So maybe I need to cut that at um, that was 7.5. Let me pull out my arm here, get this situated. So probably 7.25. Okay, that works. I'm not gluing anything down yet because I might want to either do some sponging or something in the background. I'm not sure. I didn't do, let me see. So I might tuck the picture up under there. I need to have room for my title. And I think that's gonna work. Give me enough room if I bring this down a little bit. Now, I'm not too worried about covering up some of that. I guess as long as I don't cover up the sun. So I'm thinking I could put these kind of like that. Have my title up here, and then it doesn't matter where I position. I can push this up a little bit higher wherever I need to go to get those journaling strips down here at the bottom. So I think that's the plan. And I think I'll just keep those white. And then maybe just add a couple of bubbles here once we get everything on it. So let's do that. All right, so I'm going to put glue, like adhesive right here and here, and maybe just like right at the bottom. That way I can tuck that photo down in there. And we'll get this layered onto the. You could do some sponging on this too if you wanted to add a little bit more texture. I'm not going to though, I guess. You know, you could have sponged the edges. So let's go ahead and put this down onto here. So this is kind of, I'm not really following a particular sketch. So this would be considered your sketch just once I get the page done. All right. And I probably won't center it. I'll push it off over here a little bit so we can see some color right there. So let's go ahead and put this down. And before I lay that down, though, let me make sure. Let's figure out I'm not going to worry about what um, order these are in right now. I'm just seeing how much room I need. I'll probably kind of do them off center. I like to do them kind of like this. So I probably need about that much room at least. So I can probably put this up here probably about right there. So we see some bubbles here, and we see some bubbles going all the way around. So that works. And then we'll put the photo down. I got to see if I can get up under there. And I think I'm just going to center it. Okay, that looks good. Well, let's go ahead and put these down while we're at it. All right, so November, now I have to have them in order. So November, Mustang Island. We watched the sunset over Corpus Christi, and Jeff couldn't resist. He did donuts on the beach just to make me laugh. It had only been a month and a half since we started dating, and then the last sentence right down here. Okay, so let's do this one. We'll just go from the top to the bottom, and I'll just put a little bit of adhesive, and I like to stagger them back and forth. So we'll put, and see, this is why I like the strips, because it was going to go over top. You could do just a block, you know, it could have been the whole thing like this if you wanted to. But I just like the look of doing it this way. So just adds a little bit more interest to your page. And then again, I said I like to stagger it. So I'll go a little bit farther over here on that one. Let me do this off the page so that any excess adhesive. And then the next one. And then I might go even a little bit further over here. And that just kind of helps it kind of center, you know, at first it might look like it's too far over here, but if you stagger, just depending on the way you stagger them. And we could add something else down here, a creature or something, but I don't know that I will. Okay. Also could have done the journaling on like some of the shipping labels, the clear shipping labels that I've done before and just done a block right over here on this portion. So you have quite a few options. So I did do this photo. I didn't even mention it. I did it. I'm gonna go, I think, even further over there. So it kind of works its way over this way. Anyways, I used a 5x7 um, piece of photo paper to print this one out. So it was a little bit bigger, and that way I could see the pictures a little bit more. All right, so now it's time. I think we have enough room to get our title. We'll go ahead and do the title, and then we'll do our scene right down here. All right, so I need E, B, and J. I printed, or I cut those out using the um, Calypso Coral. T, B, and I used these letters because they have the ampersand. Is that how you say it? The and sign. P, B, and J. My J is going the wrong way. It's like something's not right. P, B, and J. All right, and then we're gonna do, uh-oh, there it is. My title is gonna be PB and J by the Sea. S SEA? I don't know why yeah, that looks right. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then I did the little mini alphabet letters using the berry burst. And I think I could do it this way by the C. So that's kind of fun, a little different visual interest. I think that'll work. I'll squeeze it in a little bit. Um, though I think it does have to be off center right here just a little bit because there's one more letter there. So we'll do the first. And I'll do it about right there. So I can't wait to see what Stampin' Up comes out with. Really, really hope we're going to be getting some more alphabet stamps and dies so we can do more titles. And I won't be just using the same alphabets, two alphabets on every single page. I know I could like maybe use my Cricut some. I haven't done that in a while. My Cricut's not even in here. Bevan has it in her room because she's been working on a project. She has a big project due this week, I think. Her big visual arts state exhibit. I think that might be what it's called. Vase is what they call it. Okay, I think I'll squeeze it in like that. I like that. So I'm not sure when exactly we'll find out if actually, she probably knows and hasn't told me like when her competition is. I need to find out from her. I don't get to go, or I haven't gone. I don't know that because they do a lot of sitting around. They do some workshops and stuff. They go usually over to San Marcos is where they're at. But I think they're at a high school over there. She's going to go to college there in San Marcos, Texas. I'm spelling C right, right? And so she'll go here probably in another couple of weeks, I'm guessing, and she'll find out if she advanced to state. She advanced to state her sophomore and junior year, so pretty confident she will again this year because she went all out with her project. Can't wait to share it with everybody. Hope I'm not too close on that one. And I've really enjoyed using this Shy Shamrock this week. I haven't gotten to use, I mean, I've used a couple of the colors, the different of the in colors the past few weeks, I guess, and different collections they've started incorporating them into the collections, which I'm excited about that. Because you forget to use them if they're not in a collection of products. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I like how that turned out. PB&J by the sea. All right, now let's do our coral. Now, I've just been doing a little bit of adhesive toward the bottom so that all that I can kind of tuck some things up under there. So I'm gonna have to bring this one in. Let me do this side first, and then that'll determine. So I'll do it on it's right there on the edge. Hmm. Has anybody ever done any type of themed birthday party with beach? I think I've done that for Bevan. We used to live not far away. Well, we still don't live far away from a community pool, but when we were in Cristoval, we would go and swim at the El Dorado community pool a bunch, and we did a couple of birthday parties there. You can kind of just decide where you want there. No rhyme or reason, really. It could come up over top of this. There's a small one and a large one. So I did a flamingo, kind of like a flamingos on the beach. I remember that one. So you could do birthday theme parties with this. So that's an idea. I'm going to kind of tuck it under. See how you could, I don't know. I might want it to go a little bit over here. There we go. Do both of those. We're getting close to being done. So maybe there and do it this way. Kind of like how it tucks in that little area right there. You could bring it even like that. Weave it through there. I think I'm gonna do that over here too. Maybe. Mm, Yeah, there we go. Just to show a little bit more of it. Hey Kelly, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. Debbie did it at the pool. I know the pool, when there's a community pool around, it's really nice. Well, and also, I'm assuming Caroline's birthday Bevan's is in August, is August 2nd. So, how do I do that one? Maybe I can kind of tuck that. I'm not sure. Let me see what I can do here. There we go. Kind of like that. Here. Yeah, so kind of weave it in and out. Now I'll put the little starfish on after I figure out where I want my crabs. Like that's gonna, well, I could spotlight if I'm careful, I could spotlight the sunset right there. And then, so they're kind of low. I'm gonna cover up some stuff, kind of like that probably. think that'll work. All right, I'm going to put those on with some dots. So, Cassandra, hello. How are you doing? It's so fun to see some familiar names, familiar faces. All right, it's time to go. It's time to go put it back in your cart and grab it. It is a fun, fun sweet. I'm kind of surprised I've enjoyed it so much this week. You know, sometimes it's hard to go for these bright colors in the middle of winter, but I'm glad I did. Now, I think on this one, I don't know if I need. You could put a few more like small dimensionals right here on. All right, so I think I am going to position it kind of right there where you can see he's kind of highlighting the sunrise. See a few dots up here. Grab those. So this is where I'm just adding a little bit of dimension. And I think I'll just put some of the dots up in here and not try to add anything else. So again, we're getting really pretty close to being done. And look, you can't even see, I could have tucked the, I probably should have tucked these down into the sand. I didn't even think about that because you can't even see that back in the background now. But oh well. All right, so let's do, I don't really want to do glue. I really don't want to get my fingers messy, so I'm just gonna do my adhesive over top of that. You can stick some in different areas. Again, there were three cut out, so I've been putting three at a time on each one of the coral pieces. I did that on Monday as well. Kind of it's sticking out over here, maybe. All right, we're about done. This one came together a lot faster than I thought it would. Just going to add a few dots here and there. And how fun is that? All right. I did say something about here. Before I put the dots on, I'm going to clean this and take off one of the bubbles. Stick it in my cart, my case right there. And we'll do like bubbles right there. And over here. And then I wonder if I should, I don't think, mm, should I do one like right up in here? I think I will. Just like right in there. And that'll kind of bring all that together. Fun, fun. Now let's just add a few, let's see here, I've been using a combination of them and I think I'll still do that. So I haven't used very many of these smaller, um, I'll put it kind of right there and then we'll do, I haven't used any of these. I got cat hair. I'm going to kind of go right off on the edge of the photo right there, I think. And we'll do a small green, whatever color that is. Um, Probably pumpkin pie. It doesn't actually say on the package. You know what? Those dang cats and their hair. There we go. And I think I'll just do that again over here as well. And maybe up a little bit higher. And one, maybe I'm gonna put it off just a little bit, like right there. Okay. And I think we need something up here. Again, I think I'm going to use the same colors. Now I just got to figure out where it's going to look good. I'm not sure. I need it to be right up in here somewhere with the bubbles. Mm, let's do there. I'm lightly putting it because I'm not sure. So we got a bubble there. So let's go here. Kind of tone on tone up there, and then an orange one over on this side. I think that'll work. All right, that's it. I think I like it. I think I love it. And I didn't really purposely plan to do beach pictures with PB&J for both days, but I love that I got that in the same week. So if you weren't with me on Monday, I'll just share one more time real quick. So there are our beach pages from Monday, and this was our trip from last July, and we wrote in the PB&J 24 there. And I did do, let me move this over a little bit, a flip flap for my journaling on this one. And see how you could extend your story. I talked about this last week or the week before. You could put your 8.5 by 11. Of course, you'd have to have another something over here in your scrapbook album, and it coordinates perfectly. And maybe on this page, you could talk about, this was back in 2015, it's July 2024, and about your relationship and how it's changed or the things that you've done. So, anyhow, but I will probably just put that in my story and sketch album, which has turned into kind of like my favorite memories album. And I like to take like little snippet of memories and talk about something particular, maybe something I like about the person or just a particular story that I wouldn't normally use on a big 12 by 12, kind of like that vacation type scrapbook, beach scrapbook. So, all right, I'm gonna make this look really pretty, and I'm just gonna put these back over here because YouTube likes to grab one of the last things. So there's what I've done so far for the week. Be sure to come back and join me on Friday for Feel Good Friday, where I do fun fold cards. And I'll be using this collection of products. We'll be doing some stamping and some die cutting. I've already got one of my cards done. And then watch for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am going to have my Thursday treat post up where I'm going to be creating a tiny little project that I can use on my, what's it called? Share Your Love Instagram hop that I'm doing with the artisans. So all 20 of us are going to be participating in the hop. You'll find that on Instagram and it'll go over to Facebook, but we have our Instagram handles that we are going to be sharing, and you'll be able to hop along on Instagram with all of the 2025 Stamping Up artisans, where we're going to share a project about ourselves of something that we love. So it's called Share Your Love, I think. Share Your Love Blog Hop. So thanks. I see Crystal. Thank you all so much for joining me. So Crystal's in Iowa, I see. Kelly, I'm not even sure where Kelly is from. I don't know if she's still on here. Kelly is a sideline of mine. We're on the same Stampin' Up team under Kimberly. I was just looking through the comments real quick. I'll have to go back and read everything. So, again, thanks for being here. I hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Happy Galentine's Day. Is that what it's called for us girls? Galentine's Day. Love y'all. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being here. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.